Gonna wet my whistle. Come on, come on, come on. Connecting live video. Yes, I think we're live. Let's go on there, and let's see. Yes, I'm on. Okay, double click that. Hello, good evening.
I think we're live.
Click that off, and there we go. Right, okay, so welcome to this week's live stream. Big flowery shirt and Titfer and the shaded glasses for the suitable weather that we're having at the moment. Vince Walton's in. Hiya Vince, hope you're well. Thank you for tuning in. And so what's new this week? What's been happening this week? Well, if you follow a fella by the name of Charlie Veach. Charlie Veach is a YouTuber that goes around Piccadilly Gardens in Manchester. And to be fair, he agitates all what he calls the crackies, the unfortunates, the drug-riddled, drink-soaked unfortunates that frequent the place, and also the immigrants that are now forming an association with that. And unfortunately, the Piccadilly Gardens, as it used to be known, was a lovely place full of flowers and benches, and people could go there and sit and eat the lunch or just enjoy the day. Back in the day when we had things like common decency, style, manners, all them old-fashioned things that all you youngers now think, nah, we don't need any of that because you know what I mean, like, you know, so that's what we're left with nowadays, and it makes you shudder to think what state the country is going to be in another 10 or 20 years' time, because it's degrading fast, it's going downhill fast. And what Charlie does is simply, you know, he gives it a poke, pokes the hornet's nest, and all the hornets come out, and then he shows it, you know, and he's doing it for what he calls photons, which is just to, you know, to get attention and to make a living on YouTube. And rightly or wrongly, whether you agree with him or not, with you know, with YouTubers and that kind of thing, you know, it's one of them. It's exposing the underbelly of our society is crumbling, and the weak, mealy-mouthed, middle of the road, middle safe, sit on the fence type of politicians we have nowadays, they won't put the foot down. Oh, we can't say that, we might hurt somebody's feelings. Oh, you can't do that, you can't say that. Oh, no. You can stab somebody, you can carry a knife, and we won't stop you unless we ask you to walk through the arch. But if you turn around and walk away, then we've done our job, haven't we? That's the attitude. And if you look at the police, I mean, to be fair, who'd be a copper these days? Who would pick up the badge these days? Because I certainly wouldn't, I'll be honest with you. Not a chance. Not a chance would I risk pension and livelihood and possible prison sentence if I lost it and made one mistake, and you got 5 million people stood around you with a phone, all taking videos of you. So everybody's a videographer now. So the thing is, when you do give someone a good hiding or a kick or a slap or call them a bitch, then you lose your job, you lose your pension, you lose everything. So how are they supposed to deal with the, you know, to put it bluntly, this shite that's on the streets? These people are, you know, they're nothing, they're just shit on your shoe, some of these people, and you have to go in hard with them. It's as simple as that. They pull a knife out on you. It's no good trying to chat them down. You need the wherewithal to take that knife off them. to cuff them, arrest them, and charge them. It was 10, maybe longer, maybe 20 years ago now, that the government of the day came out and said, if you get caught with a knife, you'll get 5 years in prison, automatic. Now, they give them off with a warning. Don't do it again now, will you? And we're going to have to keep your knife. Honestly. But that's my rant for the day. So this week, what are we doing? Well, I'm carrying on with my own songs. And this song is called Cliche Ride. And I think you'll get the gist of this one when you listen to the words. It doesn't necessarily bode well with those that partake of the devil's weed, but the thing is, with drugs, it's all cool for, the Keith Richards, rock and roll, Lemmy, and all the rest of them that live that rock and roll lifestyle. But it doesn't look so glamorous when you're on a piss-stained mattress in a derelict house with a needle in your arm and you're dead. That's the other side of it. You can't have your cake and eat it, I'm afraid. But that's life. Who's in? Trevor's in. Good evening, Trev. Is the football not on? Roll up to the penny bazaar. You don't have to travel too far. Roll up and roll your mind. You can join the deaf, the dumb, and the blind. The grass is greener on the other side, and the rock and roll bullshit cliche ride. Yeah, the grass is greener on the other side, and the rock and roll bullshit cliche ride. Roll up, you hippie cats. You cardboard cockroach razzler rats. First one's free, no charge on the door. You can pay me when you need some more. The grass ain't greener on the other side, on the rock and roll bullshit cliche ride. Oh, the grass is greener on the other side, on the rock and roll bullshit cliche ride. Well, habits can be formed, even if you're warm, and the need to get high means you play with fire. You're gonna get burned. Said you're gonna get burned. Roll up in the rain and snow. It's a premium grade, it's a real home grow. Come on down, there's a circus in town. You can play the fool, cause everybody's a clown. No, the grass ain't greener on the other side, and the rock and roll bullshit cliche ride. No, the grass ain't greener on the other side, on the rock and roll bullshit cliche ride. Roll up, I just don't care. And sometimes life just ain't fair. I just can't seem to get out of bed, and I sometimes think I'd be better off dead. No, the grass ain't greener on the other side, on the rock and roll bullshit cliche ride. Well, now the grass ain't greener on the other side, on the rock and roll bullshit cliche ride. You know, habits can be formed, even if you're warned, and the need to get high means you play with fire. you're gonna get burned. Gonna get burned. Well, no more roll-ups and no more drink. I've had 40 years to try to think. 25 years is just a blur. But I've decided I deserve much more. No, the grass ain't greener on the other side in a rock and roll bullshit cliche ride. No, the grass ain't greener on the other side on a rock and roll bullshit cliche ride. Well, habits can be formed even if you're warned, and the need to get high means you play with fire. Gonna get burned. Said you're gonna get burned. Said you're gonna get burned. Said you're gonna get burned. The cliche ride, that's called. And of course, that's on my CD, Songs on the Back Foot, from 2016, that one. And of course, nobody buys music anymore. So with that in mind, if anybody would like a CD, I'm willing to give them one free gratis just to get the music out there. And all you have to do is message me, and you can PayPal me. I think it's about, I don't know what it is now, about £1.75, something like that, is it, for a first class stamp? I can stick one in an envelope for you and send it to your door. And then you can put it in your car or on your CD player, if you have one of them anymore. Because that's the thing, not many people do. But yeah, free CD. Just pay the postage and it's all yours. So, yeah, so what we're going to sing now that I didn't sing last week, because I sung a few last week, and so this one is about fishing. All of these songs, there's a reason and a story behind every one of these songs. The cliche ride was one of derived from personal experience of having family members and friends who got hooked on various vices, from beery comestibles right the way through to Bolivian marching dust and the devil's dandruff and that kind of thing. But yeah, but this one is all about fishing. And I've been fishing for years, since I was a kid. And I decided to try fly fishing, which is different than coarse fishing. With coarse fishing, it's a worm or a maggot on a hook with a float or a weight, and you flick it out, and you either feel the line or you watch the float, and when the float goes, you strike and pull the fish in. And simple as that. Sounds simple, so you try and do it. And people said to me, don't get bored fishing. Until you've had the excitement of having a fish on a line, you can't explain it. But once people do have a fish on the line, there's nothing like it. The thrill's unbelievable. But it's one of them, it's the anticipation. Like a lot of things, the thrill is in the chase, I suppose you could say. But this one, I decided to go fly fishing, so I went out to a fly fishing shop in Eaton Moor, and I spent a small fortune on all the gear. I got the waders, I got all the fly gear and the weight, you know, the flies and all the tools and everything, and the hats and all the rest of it, and a fly rod and a fly reel and the lines and everything, and I read up on it, and you know, and then I went to New Mills, to the River Goit, and so on out on the river, up to my waist in a river, flicking the line, or flicking the fly as they say. And I caught nothing all season. And then just at the end of the season, one of the, what's his name now? I forget his name, it's like a Polish name. But he's a well-known fly fisherman. And he was down there just testing some of his flies. And I said, have you had much? And he said, oh, you won't catch anything in here, son. He said, he's bleeding dead. He said, there's nothing in it all around here. I've only come to see if my fly works, if it floats. So I'd spent the whole bleeding season stood there, flicking a fly and caught nothing. But I did see a few, because they top, you know. And I think they were just there to take the piss out of me in the road. Standing in the river up to my waist, trying to flick a fly. I'm standing in the river up to my waist, and I'm trying to flick that line, trying to catch a fish. Fish got away, trying to catch a meal to put on my plate. I'm standing in the river up to my waist, trying to flick that fly. Standing in the river up to my waist, trying to flick a line. I'm standing in the river up to my waist, and I'm trying to flick that fly, trying to catch a fish. Any fool can see, trying to catch a fish. He made a fool out of me. I'm standing in the river up to my waist, trying to flick that fly. Standing in the river up to my waist, trying to flick a line. I'm standing in the river up to my waist, and I'm trying to flick that fly. I can see a fish, he's swimming free. I can see that fish, and I think he's laughing at me. I'm standing in the river up to my waist, trying to flick that fly. I'm standing in the river up to my waist, I'm starting to feel the cold. I'm standing in the river up to my waist, my bones are getting old. I'm gonna leave that fish for another day in the beautiful river. We can stay. I'm standing in the river up to my waist, trying to flick that fly. Standing in the river up to my waist, trying to flick that line. Said I'm standing in the river up to my waist, and I'm trying to flick that fly, trying to catch a fish. Any fool can see I'm trying to catch a fish, and he made a fool out of me. I'm standing in the river up to my waist, and I think that I'll go home. There you go, standing in the river up to my waist, catching bugger all. Right, so let's see, we'll go for this one for a change. Now this one is on a completely different instrument altogether, because what I'm going to play this one on is what's commonly known as a slide guitar. And the thing is with slide guitars, they work in a different way than a conventional standard tuning guitar. Because a standard tuning guitar is tuned in order to be able to use all of the frets with different chords. This is all tuned to one chord, or one key, which is G. So when you, that's a G. And so it's completely different. So what you do is you play it with a slide, with a glass slide. song came about when I used to have Mr. G's Blues Band, and Tom, the drummer, couldn't make it. He was buggering off on holiday. So we got a fantastic drummer and bass player called Mr. Stevie Oakes, and we depped him in. It's called deputising or depping in, and so I phoned Stevie up. I said, "Can you come down and and jump in, rehearse with us, and then do this gig?" And he said, "Yeah." He says, "I'll come down now." And we used to rehearse in my barber shop in the evening. And so he said, "Yeah." He said, "I'll come down." He says, "Have you got any tea?" I said, "Oh, yeah, I got tea." He said, "Great." He said, "Well, I'll take mine, milk with 2 sugars." I said, "Well, I haven't got milk because I don't drink that much tea with milk in, so I've got powdered milk." "Oh, no," he says, "you're going to give me the powder milk blues." That was it. It just, bing, the light bulb went off in my head, and I thought, I've got to write a song about that. So this is called Powder Milk Blues, and it has nothing to do with a cup of tea. I ain't got no money, things are looking down. Can't afford a smile, I can barely buy a frown. Ain't that a meal for such a long time? Desperation is looking for a type of crime. Clothes are all burly, got holes in my shoes. Now I'm telling you people, I got the powder milk blues. Well, to say my fridge is empty is an understated joke. Can't turn it on cause the damn thing is broke. Work got the slack, boss man laid me off, and I'm feeling kinda weak and I'm developing a cough. My clothes are all torn, I got the holes in my shoes. Now I'm telling you people, I got the powder milk blues. There's a hole in my roof and my bed's getting damp, and I feel so cold and I'm living like a tramp. I sold my dog before the damn thing died, and I believe I cried when the mud went by. Clothes are torn, got holes in my shoes. Now I'm telling you people, I got the powder milk blues. I said, my clothes are all dirty, I got holes in my shoes, and I'm telling you people, I got the powder milk blues. There you go, the powder milk blues on slide guitar. And we're doing time-wise. Yep, we're doing okay. I think I might be able to creep one more in. Now this one is called High Maintenance. I've got loads and loads of, look at that. Oh, Lisa's in, Lisa Cambridge, welcome. I've got loads of, or I did have, loads of notifications about the same person being in it. Must be playing up Facebook. But yeah, so this song is a song all about the fairer sex, shall we say. There was a person that shall remain nameless. Yeah, I've got to run through it. It's a long time since I played these. Right, yeah, so this is all about a young lady who was with a friend of mine, and shall we say that she had deep pockets and short arms. She never put her hand in a pocket, and played on the goodwill of this friend of mine, and all she did was take him to the cleaners. And I said, pal, I said, don't you see what she's doing? I said, tell her you got no money, and I bet she's washing her hair. I said, she only wants to go out when she knows you're going to spend money on her. I said, she's milking you. I said, if you told her you lost your job tomorrow, see how long she'd last. I said, she's just milking you. And he wouldn't have it. No, she's all right. No, it's not. And, you know, in the end, he smelt the coffee. She used to phone him up and say, come over to my place. And he said, well, why can't you come to me? You know, you got a car. You know, you come over to mine. And she lived in Liverpool, and he was in Manchester. So it was a long trip. And she'd come up with excuses like, my cat's got anxiety and shit like this. And you think, what the bleeding hell are you falling for that crap for? You know what I mean? And so, yeah, in the end, he smelt the coffee. And he gave her the elbow. And now he's married with children or a child. And he's happy as Larry because he found a good one. If you find a good one, keep hold of them. I did. He says smugly, got the best of them all with my wife. But there you go. She's high maintenance. She's high maintenance. When I met that little lady, she was nothing but sugar and spice. But it didn't take long for things to change, and now she's not so nice. Well, she got me working day and night, and I'm working from a pillar to a post. She's the only girl within 1,000 miles. She'd be the one that wants the most. 'Cause she's high, high, high maintenance. Said she's high, high, high maintenance. She wants the best that money can buy, and nothing else will suffice. She wants the best table in a restaurant and the champagne keeping on ice. Well, she wants me to fly her all around the world, first class all the way. I don't know how long I can keep this up, 'cause I'm spending all of my pay. She's high, high, high maintenance. Well, she's high, high, high maintenance. I got a maxed out Visa and an Amex too. My bank's gone into the red. Well, I pawned my watch and my stereo, and the only thing left is my bed. I've told that girl she gotta slow down, 'cause I can't keep up no more. She said, Daddy, if you can't keep up with me, I'm walking out of that door. She's high, high, high maintenance. She's high, high, high maintenance. I said that she's high, high, high maintenance. Don't you know that she's high, high, high maintenance? Don't you know that she's high, high, high maintenance? She's high, high, high maintenance. High maintenance. And that's not to say that there aren't as many fellas out there that don't play the game. But that's how the world works, I suppose. You have to take everybody as you find them. And if they play the game, they play the game. If they don't, then they don't, and that's that. Shall I? Oh, I'll finger pick it this week, I think. Or did I finger pick it last week? Right, so we'll come to the end of the show again. I've still got a few songs that I'll play next week off the album. Don't forget, if you want a CD, free, gratis, cost you nothing, just the postage. Just message me on Facebook or message me on my YouTube channel, which is GJ Armstrong. And if you PayPal me the postage, which is about whatever it is, a first class stamp, and I'll put it in an envelope and send you one. And away you go. Can't beat that, can you? Nothing cheaper than that. Nothing. Right, okay. So, until next week, thank you for tuning in. And don't forget, every Thursday, I'm on Facebook live at 8 o'clock. These videos get taken off by Facebook now after 20 days. So if you want to catch up on all of the old videos, because this is number 130. So if you want to go back and see the very first ones or all the way through, then go to GJ Armstrong on YouTube. And if you look on the playlist, you'll find Almost Live at GJ's. And every one of them's on there because 8 o'clock I do them live. And 8 o'clock Friday, I'll load them up and put them on. And so they're all going on YouTube. So please comment, like and subscribe. It helps to grow the channel. Until next week, adios. My friends, it's time for me to go. You know it's been a blast. See you all. And since we met and we first said hello, but now goodbye. And the memories we made tonight will always be recalled in my mind. And my friends, you are always in my heart, and you will always be my kind. Adios, I have to leave to travel to somewhere that I have to be, to a place where rivers flow gently to the sea, the open sea. And the memories we made tonight will always be recalled in my mind. And my friends, you were always in my heart, and you will always be my kind. Well, I've sang a song or two, and I play this old guitar, and I hope the words I've sang have touched your hearts. One day I will come back and I will sing for you, and the memories we made tonight will always be recalled in my mind. And my friends, you are always in my heart, and you will always be my kind. I said the memories we made tonight will always be recalled in my mind. And my friends, you are always in my heart, and you will always be my kind. Adios, adios, adios. Till next week, adios, people.